Hello, my friend, and welcome back. Today, I want to do a card pull and see what message the universe has for us today. Ooh, okay. So we pulled the Mintakin card, and so it says longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. And so I've actually pulled this card for myself personally many times. When I first got this deck, this was a card that I repeatedly pulled. And I feel like when you repeatedly pull the same card, it is reinforcing a message, and it is very much wanting to like drive home that message, especially within that time of your life. And I really love this Mintakin card. If you research a little bit about like what Mintakin is, Mintakin was actually like a different planet, and Mintakin were the inhabitants, and they were like these sea creatures. It was like a beautiful sea planet with crystal clear waters and amazing sea creatures, and they obviously weren't humans, they were Mintakin, but like the humans of the planet, the Mintakins, were like mer people. And apparently that planet was unfortunately destroyed, and so all of the souls that were incarnated on Mintakin, a lot of them came to Earth a very long time ago. And apparently some of the sea creatures that were incarnated in Mintakin are now on Earth as well, and kind of like, I don't want to say like inspired, but what's the word, like some of the sea creatures on Earth now evolved from Mintakan sea creatures. So I really love that we pulled this card today, because I really don't like to get it doesn't resonate with me to get too wrapped up into what my soul or what my spirit may have originally been or was in past lifetimes. I ask that I truly like heed those lessons, and I really bring the past learning and evolving into this life. However, it just doesn't resonate with me to get too wrapped up into what I was in the past. And the reason for that is I feel like if everything is in the present moment, then presently I am in this lifetime as a human, as Anne Sloan, that's my last name, incarnated, and that is what I'm meant to be here and now. So, getting too wrapped up into, what I was in a past life just doesn't really serve me. However, I do find it interesting and I do find it fun, because when I kept drawing this card and I was researching it, I also found that because that planet was destroyed, souls who were Mintakan are very much like homebodies, and they like to be in their houses, which it completely describes me to a T. Like I am a total homebody, which it's definitely how I choose to spend my time. Like I like being like not in my comfort zone, but in my area that I'm familiar with my things. I mean, I like to travel and I like to go out and do different things as well. However, I am mainly a homebody. I'm not someone, when I was younger, I was never home, but right, now and for, I don't know, for the past like 7-ish years, I've definitely been a homebody, and I like don't really see that like changing. It definitely could change, but I don't have that desire to like constantly be out and about and doing things. I'd much rather just be at home. And apparently that is like a really big trait of a Mintakan. And also because they came from such a beautiful planet, humans that are now, have a past Mintakan life, they like beautiful things. And I've always been like that. Like not in a vain way, but I've always like appreciated beauty, and I have found that through my spiritual journey, my appreciation of beauty, what I feel is beautiful, especially in people, has definitely changed. You know, I can definitely like I feel as though I see beauty in everything, but I always like to see the beauty. And, you know, when I'm out in nature, like one of the things that is all striking for me is how beautiful nature is. You know, when you're looking at the details of even a leaf on a tree, and there are, I don't know, like thousands of leaves on the tree, like just how perfect the veins of the leaf is and the coloring, and it is just, to me it is so beautiful. And I definitely allow myself in those moments to get wrapped up in that beauty because it makes me feel good. And apparently that is a trait of Mintakan, and it depends on who you talk to. um there is a theory that our souls just aren't one soul that kind of go from life to life. That can be a collective of souls for different incarnations. And, you know, I believe that, of course, at a, you know, a very deep level, we're all cut from the same cloth. We are all divine energies, so therefore we were all divine. So in theory, everyone was Mintakan, you know? So when you look at it through that perspective, everyone is Mintakan. So, and um, that is another reason why I don't get too wrapped up in slicing and dicing that, because at a deep level, everyone is everyone, and everyone was everything. So, you know, not exactly like what's the point, because there's definitely learning in this card for sure. What I feel like this card is kind of telling us is that, like, the longing for home and the belonging is to kind of bring yourself to become more comfortable with your home. And it doesn't exactly mean your physical space of where you live. It is really calling you to become comfortable inside of your body, because in theory, like, our bodies are the only home that we have, our only permanent home. Like, we can move houses, we can move cities, we can move locations, you know, soon we can go to Mars, like, but the only thing that stays consistent is this body, and your body may change, different things might happen to it, but when you don't have this body anymore, you are not incarnated in this life anymore. You're dead, you know? So, in theory, our bodies are our only home. So I feel as though this card is really asking us to become comfortable within our bodies, within our homes, and to realize and to put our awareness on the fact that our bodies are our only permanent home during this lifetime. And yes, you can make your space, make it comfortable, make it familiar, make it a place that you want to be. However, if you aren't exactly a homebody and you like to be out and about, obviously that's totally fine. But then it's really calling you, and it's calling all of us then, to just feel at home within your body. Trusting your body, trusting, you know, your inner guidance, and going within when you are longing for something. So if you are feeling homesick, or you're, you know, you have that feeling of longing, that you can satisfy that feeling by going within and going within your heart and realizing that, you know, that this body is your home. You don't need, like, of course it is a human need for shelter. However, you know, let's go beyond that need a little bit. You know, that this body is a place that you can feel the things that you would feel in a home you were comfortable in. So when you are comfortable in a home, and excuse me, you feel safe, you feel secure, you feel comfortable, you feel relaxed, and you feel joy. Like you are, most people are happy to be home. So, with all of the changes that are going on in the outside world, this card is calling us for us to be able to feel those things inside of this body, to feel comfortable inside of this body, to feel safe inside of this body, to feel at home, to feel that joy of being home. So, instead of waiting to get to a destination, to have that, I'm home feeling when you get inside your physical home, this shelter, that you can feel that feeling, that release, that like that comfort inside of your own body, and you don't need anything else to feel that. And when you are able to feel that within your body, well, you're never leaving this body until you permanently leave it. So in theory, you would feel that all the time. You would feel that safeness, that comfort, that comfortability, that joy of that exhale, that breath of release of I'm home. Well, this card is giving us permission and encouraging us to find that now, today, within our own bodies. And when we start to feel that in our own bodies, we can feel it all the time. We can feel that joy, that relief of being safe inside our homes, because we are safe inside this home. And, I'm only going to say this because it comes up for me is, things can happen to your physical body, so how can we feel safe at home? Well, in theory, things can happen to our physical structure as well. But if you feel fear of like not feeling fully comfortable inside of your body, we have to remember that this life is a simulation, and therefore our bodies are a simulation, and that there is so much more beyond this 3D reality, beyond this body. There is so much more. So, and you have to remember that our spirit is eternal, and yes, we can feel the human emotions if something happens to our physical body, but also remember that worrying and feeling any sort of stress around something that hasn't happened does not prepare you for if something were to happen. It just puts on added stress, and you're putting out the wrong vibration. Then you're putting out that lower vibration. We've been talking about how we need to keep our vibe high, and that includes our thoughts. So just, it's okay to have those thoughts, it's normal. It's your ego wanting to protect you, like, oh, well, you can't feel completely safe in here because, something can happen, like a tree can fall on you, or I don't know. Like, so just remember that if you are thinking and worrying about something happening to your physical body, you are putting out the vibration of something happening to your physical body. And that doesn't mean that if you are able to train your brain to not think that way, that does not mean that nothing will happen. We're here, we're living on Earth. This is a hard reality. So understand. So have that awareness so you're not in total shock if you get a cut on your finger and you're like, I'm no longer safe in this body. you know, that's not that's not the point. The point is, for every other moment that you don't have that cut in your finger, like, it's okay to feel safe. And even if something does happen to your physical body, it is still okay to feel safe within the body, because know that your spirit can never be harmed. Your spirit can never die. So yes, something may happen to your home, but that doesn't mean that your spirit wouldn't find a new home. So while you're here, while you're incarnated in this body, in this life, and you want to put out the vibration that you are safe, that you are comforted, that you are at home in this body, because that is going to attract the like vibrations that you want. And things, horrible things, I don't want to say are less likely, because things can happen, it's not, but our worry about them creates that suffrage, and it doesn't help us should things happen. Because when we get too, wrapped up in the what if, you're preparing for a bunch of things that would never happen. And even if exactly what you were thinking did happen, it's still not going to prepare you anymore. If you reflect back and think about something that you worried about that actually did happen, and then are you ever like, well, I'm glad that I worried about that. I'm really glad that I worried about that. It serves a lesson, worrying, prepare yourself a little bit, but just don't get too crazy about it, because most of the time you are completely safe in this body. And that's what you want to focus on. So that is our message for today with this absolutely beautiful card, this Mintakan card. I want you to see the art on this. I absolutely love this card. I love this deck. I think it's so beautiful. And I am so glad that you tuned in. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope to see you soon again, my friend.